In this segment, we will talk about the eligibility, exemptions, and the registration process. The questions that we will address would be like who can take ICS exams? Is there any exemptions available? What are the exemptions? The registration process, deadlines, and early bird discounts for the current academic year. So let's start with the first question, that is who can take ICS exams? ICS exams are ideal for anyone who is looking to build a career in commercial shipping. This can include beginners, students, shipping professionals, shipbrokers, charters and agents, and even company employees. Now, suppose you are a student and you are studying subjects like maritime logistics or global shipping, etc. Or even if you are studying BCom, MCom, and you want to get into shipping finance or any of the subjects that are listed here, you could choose ICS examination, which would give you an edge to your profile. You could be a shipping professional. If you're already working in the shipping industry, you could be a seafarer. Now, whether you are a deck officer or an engineer does not matter. You could still appear for these examinations, and this would give you an industry recognition and help you in advance your career. Similarly, it goes for shipbrokers and charterers and agents as well. So ICS certification improves credibility and open doors to the global opportunity that is available. Many shipping companies encourage their candidates or their employees to take ICS exams to ensure high professional standards. So there is a variety of reasons why candidates should consider taking ICS exams. Now, moving on to the next question about exemptions. What are the exemptions and what are the exemptions available, etc., and how we can avail these exemptions? So, based on the educational qualification or the professional qualification of an individual, ICS provides you or ICS grants you certain exemptions from certain subjects. Now, these qualification must be in your past 7 years. Okay, so one candidate has to apply for it. Once you apply for it, ICS head office, which is in London, they will review your application, they will verify your documents, and basis that they will grant you an exemption from that particular subject. The current exemption fees per subject for the current academic year is 195 GBP per subject. Now, exemptions are available only for a maximum of 3 subjects. So one cannot avail more than 3 exemptions. And also, please note, there are no exemption for shipping business. There are no exemptions for foundation diploma, or there are no exemptions for advanced diploma likewise. Now, whenever you are applying for the exemptions, an evidence of qualification in the form of certificates or transcripts have to be presented to the ICS head office. Now, once the exemption is granted and paid for, then it is valid till you complete your qualifying examination. What are the subjects where exemptions are available? Now, this is a list of subjects where one can avail for exemptions. Introduction to shipping, economics of sea transport and international trade, marine insurance, shipping law, shipping finance, port and terminal management, logistics and multimodal transport, ship operations and management, offshore support industry. So these are the list of subjects where you can avail exemptions. Now, again, a very common questions which I get is, as a seafarer, which subject am I eligible to get an exemption from? So, as per my experience and what I know, that most seafarers who are sailing as a captain or a seafarer sailing as a chief engineer can avail exemption from this for the subject introduction to shipping. However, if you have any additional qualifications, like you have done an MBA in port and logistics, or you have done some other, let's say, experience in operation and management, then you may get additional exemptions. But again, it all depends upon the ICS head office. So if you are availing for an exemption, you have to apply for it. The final authority to grant an exemption is the ICS head office only. Moving forward to the registration process. Now, before you apply or book your examination, you need to first register yourself as a candidate or as a student. The institute's academic year opens in June. So this is the usual date. In June, the academic year starts. The dates are declared in the by the ICS in their website. In order to register as a student, go to shipbrokers.org, and once you go to that website, you will see the window as shown in the left hand side, and on the top right corner you will find the button register. You'll have to click to on the register button, and you'll have to fill up the details. Once done, you will get a login ID and password using which you can log into the portal whenever you want it. However, your registration is not complete. Why? Because your registration is deemed to be complete when you pay the annual fees of 142 GBP. So once you have filled up all your data, you can pay the fees of 142 GBP, which is an annual fees. Now, please note again, the annual fees is based on the academic year, not the calendar year. Right? So once you pay the fees, your registration is completed as a student. The deadlines for 2024-25. The deadline for back to school discount was 23rd September 2024. Now, as I'm recording this video in March 2025, these dates are already passed. But students who are planning to apply in the coming academic year 2025-26, you still have the time, and the dates for the back to school discount will be published in the ICS websites. So you'll get notified from there, from the ICS websites. So these are the dates for the current academic year. The final deadline for November 24 exam registration was 7 October 24. Deadline for deferment, exam center or subject change was 14 October 24. The November exams were held between 11th to 21st November 24. The deadline to request exceptional exam center for May 25 exams was 9th January 2025. November 2024 exam results were published on 20th Feb 2025. Deadline for post-examination review for November exams was 3rd March 2025. So suppose uh, you would want to review the your papers or your result, you can apply for it. But again, there's a deadline for that. You have to do it before that particular deadline. The final deadline for May 2025 exam registration is 10th of April 2025. So this date is still upcoming, and candidates who are willing to appear for May exams can certainly take the opportunity and apply for May examinations. Deadline for deferment, exam center or subject changes. The date is 15th April 2025. May examination would be conducted between 12th to 22nd May 2025. And finally, the result for the May exams will be published on 21st August 2025. So these are the deadlines for the current academic year. Similarly, for the next academic year also, the dates will be published by the ICS on their website. Now coming to the fee structure of the current academic year 2024-25. First of all, we start with the registration, that is the student registration, which is an annual fee for the academic year, which is 142 GBP. The exam fee per subject is 179 GBP. That is an early bird discount, and hence, if you can avail the early bird discount, then your per subject fees would become 108 GBP. If you are obtaining an exemption, then you have to pay 195 GBP per subject. If you are going for a deferment, then you'll have to pay 65 GBP. And finally, if you would need textbooks in hard copies for your preparation for the examinations. So the price for first book is 110 GBP plus additional 18 GBP for the courier charges, etc. The books you can order from ICS UK directly, or you may also order the books through CNBR.